Yo, what is up folks, TrevorCG here, and today we're going to have a look at some timeless Nexus of Fate. I've had a couple of different requests for decks featuring this card, and I think I've got a pretty sweet mono blue list here with some interesting stuff going on. I do plan on doing some more meta stuff in the next week or so. I've got a couple of things lined up after the timeless kind of like showcase tournament, the Creator Clash over the last weekend. There's some cool stuff to come out of that, and there's also like a big timeless tournament happening as well, I think. So, we are playing Nexus of Fate. 5 blue, take an extra turn after this one. If Nexus of Fate will be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal it, shuffle its owner's library instead. And it's an instant. If it gets thoughts or something, get shuffled back in. If you cast it, get shuffled back in, yada yada yada. And then that'll, like, you know, you can draw it later and cast it again. Nice. Okay, sweet. This is our extra turn spell. We also have another kind of pseudo extra turn spell, but kind of before we get there, let's talk about Lotus Field. Obviously, Nexus of Fate is 7 mana. Lotus Field is a way for us to kind of accelerate. Taps for 3, but the downside is that when it enters the battlefield, you have to sacrifice 2 lands. Fortunately, in the timeless format, we have a bunch of stuff to kind of mitigate this. Firstly, and the other time walk we're playing, is Discontinuity. 3 blue instant, but if it's your turn, it only costs 1 and a blue. It costs 4 mana less, and just simply end the turn. So you can like play this, cast this, keep your lands in play. Or, later on in the game, 6 mana, end the turn. This also, if you have things on the stack that would potentially, you know, cause you to lose the game, lose a bunch of life, this is actually super powerful. And so, hey, Discontinuity is something we have in like the Explorer Pioneer versions of the Lotus Field deck. We have a couple of copies of Tail's End here, which is a similar thing, activate ability, trigger ability, legendary spell. And then we also have Stifle, a timeless exclusive, if you will, obviously seen a bunch of play in Legacy over the years, counter target, activate, or triggered ability. And so, yeah, we can like Lotus Field on turn 2, just stifle the trigger, all of a sudden we've got this. Sweet. Pretty powerful. Stifle, of course, and having all these kind of stifle effects does also allow us to kind of, you know, hey, Stone Rain our opponents a bunch. If they're playing fetch lands, we can stifle those or Tails End those. Nice. There's a bunch of other kind of relevant things. And as I kind of hinted at before, we have 4 copies of Pact Negation, we've got the Wandering, there's a few different things that we're like, hey, sometimes you just want to ignore these effects, and these let you do that. Pretty fun, pretty fun. Obviously, we've got the 4 Lotus Fields in the mana base. In addition to that, we've got 2 copies of Thespia's Stage to copy them. We don't have a way to tutor for them, but we do have some filtering. In addition to kind of like, hey, we've got like Nexus, we've got the Time Walk effects up here. We have to actually kind of get there. And so we have Brainstorm to help kind of find the cards. That's why we've got the 6 fetches in the mana base. We've got Fading Hope for some creature interaction, which is still kind of the best thing in blue I can come up with at like a cheap price. Just bounce the creature. If it's mana value 3 or less, you also get to scry 1, which is a nice upside. One funny thing that I found is if you've got like the Wandering in play and your opponent's playing Oko, if they Oko turn this into an Elk, you'd bounce it, play it again. Which is, hey, bonus. So then we have, yeah, Fading Hope interaction. So we've got like all the stifle effects that stop a bunch of things our opponent's doing. 2 actual hard counter spells, and that's kind of why we've only got like 2 copies of Tail's End here. Got to kind of make room, make sure we've got enough interaction to get us through. It can still be a little shaky. 1 Cyclonocrypt, so we're making a bunch of mana with Lotus Field. Cyclonocrypt, a really nice way to just reset everything our opponent's doing. 3 copies of Release to the Wind. There's a couple of things going on here. So 2 in a blue instant, exile target non-land permanent. As long as it remains exiled, it's only may cast without paying its mana cost. This is something we can use to interact with our opponent, but it's also a really nice way for us to reset the Wandering. Super nice. And yeah, some pretty sneaky synergies that pop up with this as well. The last thing, so we need to actually win the game. We have like a Hall of Storm Giants in the mana base here. We can do some other stuff. We have 2 copies of Shark Typhoon here to make it a little bit easier. And you can actually hardcast this pretty early on, given the Lotus Fields and everything. So we're going to make Lotus. Hopefully copy it, end up with a bunch of mana. Got Wandering as things to draw through our deck. That's kind of the other way we're getting. Wandering is our main source of card advantage, and if these start interacting to kill you, you can start kind of like looking to stifle them, etc. And often you use this to like kind of dig for this or dig for counter spell. It all kind of like synergizes quite well. Hey, the Wandering even triggers Shark Typhoon. Nice. Let's hop into some matches. The rest of the mana base I haven't talked about. Ottawa here, the Hall of Storm Giants, 10 islands, and then yeah. I'm only going 6 fetches and 2 Thespian Stages, just kind of the right balance. So, let's see how things go. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel, and let's hop into some names. Alright, first matchup here with Mono Blue Nexus. Let's see how these go. This deck is very much trying to ignore what our opponent's doing. And you do have some clunky hands, which is like, hey, why don't you play and get 2 times? We've got like Nexus of Fate, Discontinuity. We have a bunch of very expensive cards in the deck already. Opponents on the play. I'm tempted to keep this in spite of having kind of nothing. It's probably bad. I'm gonna mulligan, giving these 3 like 6 mana cards. This seems a little. This is more reasonable because we have the Lotus Field. Put one of the Shark Tavines on the bottom. That seems solid. The thing that I have not mentioned so far is that you need to be very, very careful about setting stops and holding priority for Lotus Field, and especially for Pact Negation, because if you like play Pact, something happens to your opponent's end step, and you set the stop and they pass, sometimes it's a little finicky as to whether you actually get to do the thing. Hey, Island go. Sunken Citadel. This definitely looks like prime time Titan Field, which I think is a pretty good matchup, to be honest. We'll see how it actually plays out. You got the Kami here. This is going to go off fine. We're going to stifle this. Because they don't have great ways to interact with us. And there's a field of Lid. Okay. They have second play. They do not. We have second field. So I'm going to activate Cold Control here. I'll play Lotus Field. I'm going to stifle this ability. Yes, please. And hey, this is leave you vulnerable. If your opponent might go, if you like playing against like blue reds and they just have Spell Pierce up and you get your Stifle Spell Pierce, you are in for a world of trouble. But hey, just gotta be a little careful. Be a little careful. If scrying here, Garen Brig in particular is a nice combo with Sunken Citadel because this can activate this for a little bit cheaper. Two Sunken Citadels and a Garen Brig, which means that you're putting them all to play tapped, unfortunately. Does net you a Primeval Titan. Okay. Alright, we have Brainstorm plus Fetch here. Given that we have the Lotus Field, I want to see if we can find another effect to stop things. Ooh. I don't know if I want all of them. We can just like ring here. That's pretty reasonable. The Fading Hope might be. Well, we have Discontinuity, don't we? Discontinuity lets us field and stuff. So I actually don't want to. We have to draw it. I'm gonna put these 2 back on top. Bit weird. Put the Flooded Strand. Okay, we'll do this again. End the turn. I'll have a bunch of mana. Okay. I was like, do I want to draw these? This turn they will be able to cast Primeval Titan if they have it. The thing is that we have a bunch of things to ignore the zombies and Primeval Titan for a bit. Which, I mean, we have the One Ring. That should buy us a bunch of time and draw us a bunch of cards. Sounds decent. We could also just Pact this. We have mana to pay. I think given we have the chance, well, they don't have a Cavern of Souls, this is fine. Got a bunch of mana, might as well use it. It does mean we're kind of doing some other stuff. I might cycle the Shark Typhoon kind of here as well. I don't think so, actually. Just need to draw a step. We know we're drawing Lotus Field. I don't want to do that. And so I'm going to fetch this away. Then we'll look to like make ring next turn, depending on what we draw. Alright. The thing is, there's not like, given the format, there's not loads of time pressure coming out of this deck. They can have like Beseiji for Shark Typhoon, which is annoying. but we can deal with that. Brushland. Oh, natural order. Yeah, we don't have a lot to do about that. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names, no duplicates right now. We can maybe like Shark Typhoon and then Bouncer Fading. Bouncing is a little awkward, shall we say. There's a Cavern Assault as well, so we're not going to get to counter anymore. We have a Wandering, we've got to be kind of fine with that though. If we sack these, we're on 9. I don't think I want the field right now. Yeah, in fact, we're pretty committed to casting the One Ring at this point. I didn't have a land. Let's just go my turn, see what we draw. We drew a Tail's End. Play the One Ring and draw a card. You pro everything. We did draw another One Ring, which should save this one really. There's a bit of an option. We should hold Tail's End up. I mean, realistically, at this point, we kind of want to start looking to save this for our stuff. I think if we can do enough with this Shark Typhoon token, let's just pass. It might be that there's something we want to Tail's End. I'm also going to put a stop on our upkeep, which is just good practice in this deck, just in case. If you have a Stifle effect in hand and like you have a Pact trigger on the stack, it will not stop for you. You need to put the stop there for actually to allow you to do that. This is a pretty sweet addition. Yeah, the natural order versions. And I posted a video without it. I do kind of like the natural order versions, but I think if you're going to play natural order stuff, you may as well just play elves. I'm just going to opt into not interacting with any of this. The only thing I'm tempted to do is cash in this Fading Hope for a scry. But gonna let them get. Depends on what we draw off the One Ring here. And oh, this actually is a reach, which is more of a problem. That's fine. Oh, the exile there, graveyard. Okay. What about this? Trying to think of what our route is. You definitely want to Shark Typhoon in play is the thing. There's one more in the deck which has been shuffled away. I think I do. I'm gonna do this. This one is fine to let resolve. Just go ahead and activate this to draw some cards. Okay, I've got a Tail's End and a counter spell. Go to our actual draw step. Release the Wind as a way for us to reset the ring. You can kind of sit here dawdling for a while. I can counter the End on the way back down, which makes me a bit happy. The ring, solid. I'm kind of down to run this bit. I'm gonna bounce the End and come in for 2. That's like, alright, do you play a new ring? Do we set this one up again? One of those things needs to happen. Let's go ahead and new ring. Activate. Brainstorm. Do this now. Just get the most information. We have a pact in discontinuity. Ooh. As well. We don't want to draw all these. Keep the discontinuity in our hand. Okay, okay. Trying is fine. See if there are any other problematic lands I'm thinking of. Normally I quite like one gate. I'm also playing like Cage. Oh, interesting. Last zone unfortunately doesn't go to 0. All good with me. I count at the end because it's got reach. So it stops the Shark Typhoon type. We're also now at the point where we can use this discontinuity as an actual type. They're also going to run out of land. The actual number of zombies does not really matter. Probably. Okay. At this point we can still afford to take one here. We know that we've got this thing on top. The card under it. Have a look. Another counter spell. Need to combat. And then we've got double Tail's End. I'm pretty happy to upkeep. This is on 1 though. 1, 4. Put 2 counters on it. This is obviously much better once we have a Shark Typhoon in play, but hey. Playing 2 because like this can easily get the work done. We're going to draw into Nexus of Fate fairly soon. I don't really expect them to have any interaction for this stuff. This deck has the kind of, not distinct ability, but the ability to kind of just blank everything your opponent's doing. And so, here we are. Go ahead and draw. There's a Nexus. Okay. No need anything to... Oh, we could fetch. We can reset this so we can take some more draws here. Thing to remember is that... Empathy. The Nexus is going to shuffle as well. We can opt in to reset this now or take some more. Cast the Nexus. We want to reset the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If there's any reason to reset it now. Let's end turn. We can discard a polluted delta. At this point, the packs really aren't doing much. Take damage here. We'll activate this. Psychotic Rift and a Stifle. Gonna release. I get to cast again for free. We'll activate. Draw card. Another release here. This is stuff going. Combat into 2. Yes, this deck does win very slowly, unfortunately. So we have the Wandering active. Play a land. Use a Brainstorm. Island. Probably the Riftbacks. I don't think we need it. Go ahead and fetch. Trim things down a little bit. Go ahead and cast an Nexus of Fate. Discarding. We don't need one of the pacts, and I think only just got 2 packs here, and one of the tails. Cool. Can take damage here, no problem. Go ahead and activate the ring. See, we have a Thespian stage we can play. I'm gonna go ahead. Blue. This is done. Just make sure we've got an exit cast. 7. Yeah, we don't quite have enough mana right now to Nexus and then Shark Typing. Do this. Go ahead and copy field. New mana. Let me stifle this. I'm just going to set the upkeep stop. Due to combat. Into the red zone. They're at 9. End turn. I don't think we need a Pact. We're at 2 now. I'm going to go ahead and stifle this. Drawing 3. Alright, we've seen Nexus. Let's go Typhoon. They've got one Besagio in play, but they might be playing a second. They've waited a while. That does take a while to win the game, but yeah. Well, I didn't set the upkeep stop, so we nearly lost. Good. We can in fact probably just double check cards in library. Go ahead and ring out. In fairness, they could have also conceded. I don't feel as bad as I could do. And there we have it. There isn't a moment. Oh, imagine if they put Moments Piece in this format. I mean, nuts. Alright, well, there we go. Alright, second match. I will say, the Titan deck not that interactive, to be fair. And so, things can go harder, but Titan is generally a very good match. What we're trying to do is, the cards we're playing are really trying to blank everything our opponent does. This is Luris, it's going to be something a bit more interactive, I think. Could be on the more aggressive end, could be something like red-black, or it could be something like Grixis Delta type thing. We will see though. I'm going to lead with Pluto Delta. And we've kept this despite having, you know, no Lotus Field. Because, hey, we've got some stuff we can do. I am not going to fetch. I think about it. Charge Typhoon, not. Go ahead and pass. I like how you could go is interesting. Oh, we're seeing playing with fire. It could just be black red burn. That's something I didn't really consider. I'm just letting this happen. I mean, we're gonna be taking damage from these shocks, well, these fetches, which is a little unfortunate, but hey, it's kind of where we are. It's like things like Bump in the Night, that kind of nonsense. I will absolutely stifle the Polluted Delta. Oh. Go. Alright. I'm gonna stifle the Polluted Delta and then get like lightning bullet. That is okay. We need to do everything we can here. Once we get to like ring and play, we can start kind of like, you know, having a bit more play against the burn deck. But hey, we're getting a little fortunately to play with flyers right now, even though that's letting them sculpt their hand a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna keep a fetch in play. We can still draw into Brainstorm. Okay, we did not draw into Brainstorm. I may well cycle the Shark Typhoon, but I'm gonna look to probably use it to counter spell. I do. The Black Red Burn deck is very, very solid, I should say, as well. And you have access to things like Idol and the Great Revel, like you would do in other formats too. Like they just pass it back. I'm just gonna happen. They go here. Bowmasters we absolutely cannot allow. Bowmasters is a bit of a weakness. We are looking to draw a bunch of cards. There are ways to play around it, but let's stop that. Let's not have any of that, please. That's kind of all our actual like cards interacting here. If we had like maybe one of the less clunky cards, Eidolon is like can be problematic. I mean, during the ring we don't have mana. I'm gonna main phase cycle this to try and find a land. May as well put a creature to, but it does feel bad. We found field. We kind of just have to commit to this now. We at least have the stage, but yeah, we might just slam one ring. To be fair, okay, this is gonna deal some damage to them. King our token. They're gonna get in for 2. This is a problem. Brainstorm kind of turned off by the Bowmasters. We need to be a little careful here. They can do. So we can activate the ring. That itself isn't the issue, and we are going to activate the ring, like you said. We want to try and hit our land drops here. The time that we activate the ring, if we've got nothing else in play, obviously, we have protection. They have to target either their own stuff or their face, which is, hey, you know, some upside. So this does grow by 1. We will go ahead and activate. We hit a land as well. We can ping that. Okay, we could opt to Brainstorm here, but this gets way, way bigger. In fact, oh, we have so many dead cards. Actually, so many bad cards. Right now, anyway. We want to use you here, blue left over. We want to find another ring, right? This is the best time to cast this. That's okay. We're immune to that one. Oh, Warren, 2 copies discontinuity. I'm just going to put 2 Nexuses back on top right now. Okay. We're going to get in some trouble. I do feel like we're going to have to cast the Brainstorm, because our hand does nothing. And Release the Wind on Orcish Bowmasters does not unfortunately work, so I get to cast it for... Like I said, this is a bit tough. Especially given we know the top cards are our library. Which are not having the shuffle effect. Okay. See what's up. This in play. We get the drawing Nexus of Fate. This draws Nexus of Fate plus 1 card. We can also just next 3, 4, 5. Ugh. Oh, it depends how much damage you take here. So what we can do next turn is copy Lotus Field, then look to use discontinuity. This is super tough. Okay. We could also use Release the Wind to reset the ring. Yeah. That's the play, right? We transform this. Then we're gonna release. Do we draw? Hang on. We're taking 2 damage off of this. We take 2 damage off of this if we draw. We then get to reset the ring with us on 1, 2, 3, 4, so 7 life. Then we have discontinuity Nexus next. We get to reset the ring on no counters. We draw now, but then we don't draw off the ring again. Okay. Alright. We're gonna try and make some stuff happen. Gonna be awkward. We got a 7. If they have like triple lightning bolt, we are dead. But we are gambling on them not having that. We're setting this upkeep stop just in case. They have a lightning bolt. They have. Do they have triple? No, okay. Alright. If we activate this, then we do have another release the wind. The problem is going to 3 life is more than just a liability. Okay. If they have 2 burn spells in hand, then we do lose. They have added Lurus though. No burning counters. Alright, let's draw for turn. Okay, we hit a land. So, so careful. This puts us in danger. We try and. We currently have 4 time walks in hand, effect. We can also use discontinuity to nullify the ring triggers. So that becomes a problem pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and take a turn. We get a draw step here. See what we get to. Alright. A Tail's End. This also does 1 damage, we can remember. This currently kills us. Got like a combination of things. Yeah, sorry. I'm just gonna hope we draw into. Lesbian Sage is more mana. That's big. You don't have like a bigger draw engine that's not the ring though. We can get rid of the Bowmaster. Kind of turn some of the stuff on. We might just fall flat on our face here. We try and can't do this. Have to do. Oh. We're kind of grasping at straws here. We're just kind of doing what we have to. We need a Shark Typhoon. That's got so many cards on the library still. We can get there. We maybe need to play around a card. Or maybe we need to take a risk here. Alright, we have discontinuity. That's fine. Go again. They have actual nothing. Can't believe that. If Shard Typhoon plus Discontinuity kind of get us going. We are kind of floating a Discontinuity as well at the moment. So close. Problem is that this resetting the ring isn't something we need to do though. Nexus. So we're no longer floating a Discontinuity. The problem. Have a Tail's End. This currently triggers Eidolon. Its own problem. Oh, that's bad. I think that probably kills us. They've been holding on to it for this long. We could stifle this fetch. This definitely kills it. It's actually such a problem. And to work out if we can go to 1 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. We definitely should fetch here. Yeah, I think we go to. Well, if we go to 1, we got a Bowmaster. We've played around as much as we possibly can right now. Oh. So this is where we should. I guess this is where we should fetch. They in fact did draw a lightning bolt this time. We're gonna counter the Eidolon trigger, which will then kill us. Alright. I think that'll probably do. That's funny. The deck does take some time to win, obviously, it's a thing. Alright, 2 very different matches though. The deck is not like the most fun thing to play against, I very much understand that, and so okay. If you want your opponents to have an amazing time, then maybe don't play it. However, deck is really sweet. We got 2 pretty polarizing matchups. The time field matchup is very good, I should be honest. And so like they're trying to ignore what they're doing anyway, because they're not interacting with your actual spells. Assuming you have a relatively okay draw, you can just kind of goldfish them. The burn deck, however, is a really bad matchup. And so it's nice that we got to actually kind of see that one as well. We almost got to itch it out. There were a bunch of turns there where we were kind of like holding on to an extra copy of Discontinuity. If we hit a Shark Typhoon and we get to go Shark Typhoon into effect, then we just win the game. Or cycle into, yeah. And so, hey, unfortunate, but I think the list is pretty solid. I'm in a really I'm in a pretty happy place with where it is. You definitely still have some weaknesses versus aggro decks. And hey, there are some interesting matchups with like Thoughtseize and things like that too. But I think you can battle pretty hard. The One Ring is very good at carrying you through some of those. And hey, if you get to start casting Nexus of Fates, normally you're in a really, really good spot and shouldn't be able to lose. But hey, it can happen. There are, well, like low on interactive pieces. Being able to stifle your opponent's fetches is kind of an important part of the deck, as it like kind of slows your opponent down early when you don't have Lotus Field. The Fabled Hopes, the counter spells, like hey, you know what they're doing. Psychological might be a little bit too greedy. Maybe there should be another Fading Hope, potentially. But being able to reset your opponent's board is really, really nice, and ideally we're getting big mana. It's really, really good when you're getting to do your thing, but when you're not, it's a bit underwhelming, and so maybe it's a little bit too win more. But hey, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the deck. It is really, really sweet. It does have some, like, if you don't have... I played Nexus of Fate when it was in standards, so I kind of have these all crafted on here already. Similar like blue-white Lotus Field, some other random bits and pieces. Stifles. This is pretty good in like some of the blue-red decks as well, but hey, kind of a bit niche. There are tons and tons of different rares to like that are awesome in the Timeless format, and so hey, and actually yeah, casting for Pact and Negation, you're probably not going to use them in any other deck. But hey, again, I think it's really, really sweet. I think the list is really, really sick. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like, subscribe, share it around, and yeah, take care. Thanks for watching.